The Black Death, the deadliest pandemic in recorded history, swept through Europe between 1347 and 1351, killing an estimated 25 to 50 million people. This devastating plague reshaped societies, economies, and belief systems, leaving an indelible mark on the continent. In this test script, we'll explore the origins of the plague, how it spread so quickly, and the profound impact it had on Europe. The Black Death originated in the plains of Central Asia, likely from the Yersinia pestis bacteria carried by fleas living on rats. It moved westward along the Silk Road, infecting the densely populated trade hubs of the Mediterranean and beyond. By 1347, the plague reached Europe through merchant ships arriving in Italy, marking the beginning of one of the most destructive pandemics the world had ever seen. The disease spread rapidly, especially in densely populated cities. Rats carrying infected fleas thrived in Europe's unsanitary urban environments. Overcrowded living conditions, poor hygiene, and frequent travel for trade created the perfect conditions for an unstoppable epidemic. Within just a few years, the Black Death swept across Europe, moving from Italy to France, England, Spain, and eventually reaching Northern Europe and Scandinavia. The symptoms of the Black Death were horrific. Victims suffered from high fevers, severe pain, and large swollen lymph nodes called buboes, which often turned black, hence the name Black Death. Within days, most victims succumbed to the disease, dying in agony. The death toll was staggering. Historians estimate that between 30 to 60% of Europe's population perished in just 4 years, leaving entire towns and cities abandoned, bodies piled up faster than they could be buried. The Black Death had far-reaching effects on medieval society. Many believed it was a punishment from God, leading to a surge in religious devotion. Some, known as flagellants, paraded through the streets, whipping themselves in hopes of atoning for their sins. The plague also crippled Europe's economy. With a massive loss of life came labor shortages, a collapse in agriculture, and a steep decline in trade. However, this also meant the survivors could demand better wages and living conditions, beginning the slow shift toward the end of feudalism. Art, too, was affected. The macabre nature of the plague found its way into paintings and literature, most famously in the Danse Macabre, or Dance of Death, a reminder that death spared no one. Medieval society was ill-equipped to fight the plague. Physicians tried various ineffective remedies, from bloodletting to burning herbs, in the hopes of purifying the air. Some even wore bird-like masks, believing the long beaks would filter out bad air. Cities imposed quarantines, sometimes refusing entry to ships suspected of carrying the plague. But these measures often came too late, as the disease had already spread by the time symptoms appeared. By 1351, the worst of the Black Death had passed, but it would return periodically for centuries, albeit never with the same ferocity. The plague reshaped Europe in many ways, from economics to religion to culture. The devastation of the Black Death also contributed to the decline of the feudal system and sparked a newfound interest in science and medicine. In some ways, it paved the way for the Renaissance, a rebirth of learning and art. The Black Death remains one of the darkest chapters in human history, a chilling reminder of how fragile life can be. Yet, out of this devastation, Europe would emerge stronger, laying the foundations for the modern world as we know it today. Thanks for joining us as we delved into the grim history of the Black Death. Remember, understanding the past helps us prepare for the future. If you found this insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Epical Histories for more video like this. Stay informed and stay curious.